screwed you and crushed you in its fist. When the way you're treated has got you good and pissed. There's been one solution since the world began. Don't just sit and take it, stick it to the man. Rant and rave and scream and shout, get all of your aggression out. They try to stop you, let them know exactly where they all can go. And do it just as loudly as you can. Stick it to the man.
Oh, yeah, shit. Stephanie's like made out of feathers and like bamboo, so she can't. She's a lightweight.
I tried to. Too late to tell you. No, as she's saying, as she drinks the whole bottle. That's what you get. Should have took it away.
Oh shit! This is gonna suck. All right, everybody, welcome to the Approximate Podcast. We have Stefani Special in the studio with us.
Hello.
Yes. Turn your phone off. Okay. Turn your phone off. Jesus.
I'm trying.
No, you can't point at Diva. She
I
works
followed
here.
your
She
bad
works
example.
here. Diva works here. You're a guest. You turn your phone off.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
Are we ready? So I went to jail, y'all. I just got out of jail a couple of days ago. I was in Waco. I was doing an episode that our listeners heard, one that played last week. I was in Austin, and when we got done with that podcast, me and my mom and my sisters, that one, packed up my stuff, got a little sleep, woke up, started heading back home to DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area. And
suddenly,
halfway home, I get to Waco, and I pass a cop. I see the cop. I'm not worried. I'm not speeding. And maybe about a mile, he's behind me, and the lights go on. And I had no idea what I had done wrong. So
whoop, whoop.
Pull over. And apparently, I got pulled over for stupid. I don't have a license plate in the front of my car. The DMV only gave me one, so I put it in the back. Apparently, that's not cool. Didn't know that. He was just gonna let me off with a warning and send me on my way.
I've seen plenty of cars with just the front
yeah, I have
off.
too. That's why I didn't worry about it. But anyway, he said that's no bueno and asked for my insurance. I gave him my insurance, and I didn't realize it had lapsed by about 2 months because I usually don't take care of the insurance. My old roommate did, so it didn't become a habit for me. Slipped my mind, and it's apparently a Class B misdemeanor. So he was obligated to take me in. He couldn't do nothing about it.
Damn.
So
that sounds suspect to me.
No, it's a Class B. It's true. It's a Class B misdemeanor. I went to jail, and it was McLennan County, Waco jail.
Did you learn how to make a shank?
No, I've been in jail plenty of times, but
Did she just ask you if you learned how to make a...
Make a
This
shank
isn't Oz. It's
Yeah.
a county jail.
it's a county jail.
Valid question.
And I didn't even. I never left my holding cell. I never even made it in the general population. I spent 27 hours in a 6x9 metal box with a blanket and a bologna sandwich.
Ew.
Yeah.
Now, is that because you're trans, or?
No. Well, it was two reasons. They would have put me in Gen Pop if I was there for something a little more severe, but I could have done time served in about 2 days for a ticket like that. So they didn't even bother to put me in general population. The trans thing was a little bit of an issue, but
Were you scared?
no, not at all. No, I'm not scared of jail. It's boring. It's just that's all jail is. And I knew what I was in there for. I knew that I would probably, by the time I woke up, they'd be saying, "French, get your shit. You gotta go." It'd be one of those. I wasn't fucked off about it, but they had a system in place. Like they were like trying to work on incorporating their trans individuals into their jail system, because they put me through a barrage of questions and asked me about my sexual identity and my gender identity, and like they had a questionnaire prepared for this kind of contingency.
Did you feel like they were polite with you about
that?
that?
It was fine. It was fine. I didn't get fucked with. Nobody gave a shit.
I mean,
So
Waco,
obviously they're
Texas,
trying to
of
be
all
progressive
places.
about
That's
it.
amazing.
Okay. Let's just stop for a second.
Oh, please go ahead.
Jail. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
There are many jails that you can go to. You could go to a city jail, which 9 times out of 10 is located inside the city that consists of just single cell areas that hold people.
Yeah, just part of
then
the police department.
Yeah, there is a county jail. This jail will hold people from the entire county. If you lived in Denton County, that covers Crum, Ardmore, areas that not only Denton, it's got to be big enough to hold people from the entire county. Then you have a state facility. These are known as penitentiaries. They are 3 entirely different structures and 3 different types of lifestyles. So when someone stays 3 days in the city jail or even in the county jail, they're not going to make a shank. They're not going to be. They're not going to be taught that they're going to have to put lipstick on their lips and do all that crazy stuff.
I was already there. I came equipped.
The process, the process of going through all this takes a lot longer than the time that was allowed for you to commit the crime.
Right.
So let's just demystify that right now.
And just to explain to you how jail works and how long you spend in jail and what determines that length of time. Okay, so let's just arbitrarily say my ticket was $200. Okay, it was a $200 ticket. In jail, every night that you spend in jail, that is $100 towards your offense. So if it's a $200 ticket, that's 2 nights in jail. That's the way it works.
That seems fairly decent.
Yeah. And if you're what they call a trustee, you can get time and a half or double time. That means you're a nonviolent offender, you have no record. They put you in a specially colored jumpsuit and they let you like sweep the floors and shit outside of a cell.
Janitorial duties.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I didn't even get to apply for trustee because I wasn't even going to be there that long. So I just had to nap for a full day, basically just taking naps all day.
A
you got the
government-sponsored nap.
Yeah, yeah.
Was your car impounded or was it left?
Yeah,
at the
my
scene?
car was impounded. But my mom, she came in, she bailed me out. She came from, I was halfway between my mom's place and Dallas, where we are. And she drove when she found out, by the way, you don't get one phone call. You get as many phone calls as you want. There's a little phone in the holding cell even. They charge a ridiculous amount because it's all collect calls. But yeah, I got through to my mom, and she came immediately, right away. And then my brother came from Dallas, so she came to bail me out, and my brother came at the same time to help me get my car. So yeah, my family's fucking awesome.
No doubt.
But yeah, now the only thing I have to do, my bail was set at $1,000, so my mom paid $150 to get me out. It's about 10 to 15% of whatever the judge sets your bail at. And then what happens is you go to your court date, and as long as you get to your court date on time and do whatever you have to do at court, you're good with the bondsman. If I skip my court date or I don't show up, the bondsman comes after me and sends a dog the bounty hunter
For $150?
for $25,000.
What?
Yeah, so I have to make my court date.
Do you understand how bond and bail works?
Vaguely, yes.
say.
Okay, well, okay. So, kid commits this crime. We're gonna set his bond, kid, at $1,000. Now, of course,
10% of that is
yeah, he
$100.
doesn't have $1,000, but I'm a bail's bondsman. I've got $1,000. So here's what I'll do. If you give me 150 of your dollars, I will pay that $1,000 loan to get you out of jail. Technically, the $1,000 has been paid.
Okay.
All right. Now, all that I ask is just one thing, kid, that on the 27th, when this court date is there, you show up. If you show up, me and you are good. Now, if kid shows up, I receive word, hey, James French made it and everything's good.
See, because what they do is you show up to court and then that $1,000 goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get their money, and they get the whatever money they put up back from the court because I made it to my court date. And then that's the way it works.
Now, if he doesn't make it, if he let's say he doesn't go.
Yeah.
All right. I just paid $1,000 for this kid to walk free.
Orion's saying he a bunch in this podcast because jail is a manly endeavor. That's what's going on. Just in case anyone's confused.
No, I'm just using me as an example. I don't want to spread things out by saying place A or place B. I'm just saying I am the bondsman.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm speaking as the bondsman doing business with James French. James French did not show up. I paid the court $1,000 as the bondsman.
Correct.
I want my money back. So I've got to do one or two things, which the court will say, well, we'll make it easy for you. We'll give you your $1,000 back if A,
You produce.
you produce James French. We'll even give you a couple extra bucks too if you like. Or B, you prove that they're dead or something happened that they could not make it back to report. So I hire a bounty hunter or a skip
Like
tracer.
Dog the Bounty
Like
Hunter.
Dog the
Yeah,
Bounty Hunter.
that's all that guy is.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
So they find Jamie sitting around doing the things that Jamie does. Brings her back, brings her back before the judge. I get my money back and any bonuses. I pay Dog the Bounty Hunter whatever I got to pay him to do their business. That's why it works
Okay.
the way it works.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that was my weekend. How about y'all? Ryan, what have you been up to?
Oh well, I was jamming with one of my
Which one?
one of my bands, Aurora.
Aurora. So this is one we haven't talked about on the air.
Oh, no, we have not. Oh,
It's
no.
another classic rock band.
I
or?
know they're believe it or not, they're a top 40 band hailing out of McKinney, Texas. They do a lot of old school Brit, but a lot of the stuff is A, top of the pops, or B, contemporary 90s country, western, and blues.
Oh, okay. So just general all-purpose.
General all-purpose rock band, good band, good band.
It was a good night. You made some money.
Yeah, I actually
little money?
did.
Good.
We played at Rick's in the Colony. Great staff, great food, great service. You know, made a pretty decent coin there that night.
Tell them about this podcast. Let's get our first sponsor.
Murphy's Music, Irving, Texas.
Boy.
I bought my last kit from them. I'll be buying my next kit from them. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, apparently. Diva. how's your whatever?
My weekend's been all right. I watched this new show from AMC.
Yeah? What is it?
Called, oh, give me a minute. Halt and Catch Fire. That's the name of it.
Is he good?
Yeah, it's about the early 80s computer.
Stephanie, what have you been up to?
Wow, really?
That really hurts me on my insides when you don't pay attention to things I
This is
say.
just where I want to hurt you. Stephanie, apparently you have something to say, so we're going to let you say it.
I'm going to talk about my weekend.
I don't care. I don't. Nobody cares. But what I do care about is letting you have some say over something we recorded a few weeks ago, but never made it to air. There was some technical issues. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk about this very important thing that you need to talk about. Before you do, let any of our new listeners know who you are and what you do, so they have context for what you're about to say.
Of course. Hi, everybody. I am Stefani Special. I am an adult performer, producer, advocate, individual.
Advocate for what?
Advocate for free speech.
Doing it?
And sex or
Is
sexual.
a doing it advocate.
Freedom.
Advocate.
Yeah, you know.
Cool. So you get professionally laid,
Well,
and you
yeah.
lay professionally.
Well, yeah,
Nice.
that
yeah.
too.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is, right? Okay, so she's a real doll, and you have an issue. So ease us into this. You got something important going on in the industry that you care about. I'm also in the industry, but I don't pay so much attention as you do. You're more politically minded and an activist
you're
in a way.
out of the California circle.
Yeah, and you hail from California, so there's some heavy shit going on in the business. What's going on?
Well, right now, not just right now. We've been at this since like 2004.
Who's we?
The industry and AIDS Healthcare Foundation has been
So porn
after
workers,
us.
porn stars, production companies.
Yeah, and a third-party organization that's trying to harass us, basically. What I come to talk to you about today is Prop 60 and the negative impact it could have on our industry if it were to be passed.
Okay, so before you go on, what is Prop 60?
This is mostly for the California residents out there because there will be a ballot coming up in November. Prop 60 is passed off by AIDS Healthcare Foundation.
AIDS Healthcare Foundation?
Yeah,
This
AHF.
is- okay.
As a continuation to Measure B. And it's really not. Measure B.
What's Measure B?
Measure B.
Talk to us like the idiots that we are.
Okay. Measure B is condoms in porn. That's
okay.
what that was.
Oh, okay, I remember. Yeah, that whole
And
debacle.
that passed because we weren't really aware of it at the time, and they were kind of forming.
They slipped it under the door.
Slip it under the door.
Okay.
They didn't aware of us.
So now
we didn't know
everybody-
anything about meetings or court or all that shit.
So
like that.
everybody in California that produces porn has to utilize condoms.
Condoms.
Okay.
Now it is, and Cal OSHA enforces that. AIDS Healthcare Foundation is trying to say that they need better enforcement of it or something. And well, I mean, Cal OSHA is the law of the land, so we abide by them. At least legit companies do.
Right.
I can't speak for the underground
They
companies.
they set standards and practices
Yeah.
for that business,
Yes,
for that
of
industry.
course.
Okay.
Of course. Cal OSHA is the law of the land. AIDS Healthcare Foundation is a third-party organization that has nothing to do with
They're
the
just some
industry.
fuckers.
Yeah.
Okay.
That are just hell
And they're
bent
not.
on-
They don't want it to stop at Prop B. They want more.
And
So-
they're obviously not
so
sex positive.
Now, what Prop 60 is trying to be pushed off as a continuation of that, but it's really not. It's more of about incentivizing harassment for the California adult industry. And what I mean by that is it gives 25% of the earnings to anybody who's a private citizen who watches a porn that sees that we're not complying. And by not complying, I mean that a condom could be used, but if it's not visible in one scene, then it would enable us to be sued for that. And
Okay, so that makes non-compliance to Prop B actionable by the customers of porn, by the viewers.
well, they say it's going to be the customers, but it'll more likely be organizations that are anti-porn.
watchdog groups that
Yeah.
are looking out for mistakes so that
Yeah.
they can sue for
Yeah.
not using condoms.
Yeah, of course.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
sounds
bad.
awful.
Horrible.
And what happens when a lawsuit is brought about, one thing we're really concerned about as the performers, producers, makeup artists, boom stand holders, grips,
Right.
all that shit, wardrobe people, all that stuff. What we're concerned about is when a lawsuit comes about, that then the legal names and addresses are made public record.
Oh wow.
So it would open us up to all kinds of harassment because, working in the sex industry, we already fight against a stigma.
Sure.
So having people that are wanting to attack us for that stigma, or even overzealous fans, they could,
Wanting to find out where you live so they
Yeah.
can come stalk you.
yeah. So we're fighting that. AHF has been notorious about misinformation and workarounds and stuff like that.
Using the blanket of safety to get away with doing a whole bunch of shit that has nothing to do with safety.
Of course, the bill is out there for anybody who wants to read it. In black and white, you can tell that it's really unethical, really, really shittily. It's not any good for our industry.
That it has a negative intent.
It would impact our industry very negatively, and ultimately drivers out of California. Not everybody wants to comply with the shit.
Well, that's kind of weird because if everybody picks up stakes, if this thing passes, and all the production companies get the fuck out of Dodge, then that kind of defeats the purpose of what they.
But that was
Like,
the
if it's-
purpose in the first place.
But it would
I
also
thought the
make
purpose
us-
was to make money off of being extra litigious.
That's only
Well,
one
like-
option we have. Of course.
So I'm going to have to know a little bit more about the AIDS Healthcare Foundation. Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, AIDS Health Foundation. Yeah.
So what is their goal? Is their goal to try to profit off of a very complicated version of Prop B, or to get rid of folks? And if so, why are they a religious organization?
Not per se, but
Because
what they're trying to do is
it's either money or moral crusade.
it's
And
a
if
moral crusade,
Yeah.
and it's also money.
They buy into the stigma that surely AIDS must come from the porn industry.
Exactly. They're demonizing all of us into looking like disease-ridden. Like, we get tested every 14 days. Like,
Oh yeah,
what general public person does that? Like,
right.
oh,
Absolutely.
Ryan, when's the last time you got tested?
6 months ago.
General public. That makes sense,
Yeah.
because you
Well,
probably
actually,
don't have
that's-
as much sex
I
as we
was
do.
about to say that's not general public. That was for physicals and stuff like
Oh.
that. Other than that, I've never been tested.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that I had a physical and my doctor says, "Hey, is there anything else you want to do?" It's like, it's funny you should say that. Why don't you give me these as well
Yeah.
while we're doing this? I would like to know. I haven't done it in a while, so
didn't-
he gave me the test. But otherwise, Otherwise, just based on my lifestyle, I would have never given it any thought.
Totally. Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh no,
like
no.
that.
Hey, I know my status. I'm good.
Yeah, but you're just general public.
That's
so
a
I say.
very good point. You can just be some motherfucker and go out to your bar every night and just fuck whoever you want, all willy nilly, spread whatever the hell's out there.
Herpes, syphilis, something.
Absolutely, and nobody blinks. But because you do it on film, now it's a problem somehow. I don't understand that.
Well, it's demonizing us. There's a clause in the bill that says that performers are protected, but most performers are producers and makeup artists and PAs and everything nowadays, so they're not protected. And everything, anybody who has a financial interest in the film is liable to be sued.
So not just the performers.
Not just the performers, even though AIDS Healthcare Foundation put a clause in it where it said it protect the performers, because they still think that we operate off the contract star system, which is way gone dead by piracy and all kinds of changes in the industry. Right. There was actually a recent court case where a judge ruled that AIDS Healthcare Foundation is full of shit on that, and that performers are at risk of being sued, just like the rest of the adult industry. The gavel's down on that now, so that won't be any more misinformation on that side.
Yeah. Where does it stand right now? What are the prospects of it being passed?
There was just scandal that just passed where the International Entertainment Adult Union was kind of shaking hands with with one of the AHF representatives behind the rest of the union's back. And
for what purpose?
There were some leaked recordings, over them talking on the cell phone and stuff like that. Where we're talking about, we can help you get started, give you some startup money, or da 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 da. They got her to sign the Prop 60 supporting it as a representative of the union, which looks like the union that was newly founded for the performers and everything. There was another court case just recently that got that removed completely.
Okay, so that person's
that's
vote.
null and void.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not, the union doesn't support it anymore.
Okay.
I mean, everybody has the right to vote however they vote. We just had actually a vote because I'm a member of the International Entertainment Adult Union. I'm a member of the Adult Performers Actors Guild and Local 424, and also APAC, Adult Performers Advocacy Commission, and Free Speech Coalition. So a lot of different hats. Yeah. So we're pretty much all on the same page now with this would be very harmful to our industry. And we want to urge voters in California to, when November rolls around, to please vote no on Prop 60. If you like porn, do you like porn? Right. If you like porn, vote no on Prop 60. Because you're going to be putting your favorite performers at danger, putting them out of work. See, if this happens, the industry would go underground. And where I talked about...
now, would it go underground or would it just move to another state?
Well, it could be underground in another state because, there could be other things brought up into another state. There could be other, there's another OSHA in other states. We're not scared of OSHA. We are working with OSHA. We've been working with OSHA. We just don't really know why the fuck we're working with AHF.
Everybody, hey, all the porn, come down to Texas. I've been making porn here for 10 years. Never get fucked with. Nobody's ever knocked on my door, and nobody's ever started a fuss. Just come on down to Arlington. Let's start the new porn industry here, where
really good porn
nobody's paying attention.
We made some really good porn here.
Yes, we have.
We're all looking for the new creative mecca if this stuff does go on.
It's supposed to be Vegas, isn't it?
Well, I mean...
Vegas has a lot of laws and ordinances.
They have a lot of laws.
All that kind of stuff.
And a lot of stuff, and especially the BDSM laws. I'm a BDSM performer, of course, and a producer also. So there's a lot of really iffy BDSM laws in Vegas. I don't want to get into all of them because I don't want to misquote any of them. But, yeah...
worst case scenario, this thing passes. Now that it's left in the hands of the general public, the voters, it passes. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think that there would be opportunistic law firms popping up around California that take are taking people on, where a shit ton of frivolous lawsuits would just be poured in.
Do you think the industry would even allow for that to happen? Because I imagine that the tiny handful of like scummy people will just work the way they've always worked and just risk it and try to lay low, and that all the actual professional companies will just pick up stakes and just go somewhere else.
I think that would happen too. But it would also make it to where those scummy companies would have more of like a leverage, because everything would pretty much. I think everything would pretty much be underground, because there would be so much scrutiny on it at that point.
And
then that would allow like we could get into names, of course, but but the scummy producers or little companies, wannabes or whatever, to really start kind of sinking their teeth into the industry, to the newbies and the naive people, like they already do.
But then if they're the only ones left in California, they're the only ones that are going to be left to scrutinize, and they're going to be inundated with lawsuits and be run out anyway.
Well,
the bigger companies will pick up. I think here's the worst thing that's going to happen. If it passes, you're just going to see a lot less palm trees in the background in porn.
Well, you see, a lot of the scummy stuff is outside of California already. You have one in Vegas. You have one in where's that? Cape Cod.
Hey, yeah.
There's Florida.
Hotbeds. Florida's a hotbed for porn. They
and
got
all
a
sorts
bunch
of other
industries.
horrible things.
Yeah.
But see, I don't want to make it sound like. I want to stress the importance of voting no on Prop 60 so it doesn't negatively affect our industry. Mm-hmm. So if you love porn and you want to see your favorite performers continue to make porn in California, where most everybody is right now, you don't want to have to see them uproot their lives over this.
Yeah, because it's
crap.
real people that are involved in this.
Yeah, it's real people.
Real people, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that we're just, like you said today, like a real doll. We're not. We're actually real fucking people. We might play a real doll on TV, but we're real fucking people with real feelings, real problems,
real lives.
Real lives.
And rent.
Hell yeah.
Damn it.
And the piracy is already cut into our rent.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of politics that go on with that, but that's another podcast.
Everybody vote no on Prop 60. I mean, look, the best porn is shot outside where it's sunny, and California weather, you just can't beat an outdoor set in California weather. And you don't want your porn performers being uncomfortable, so just vote no so everybody can have a nice, pleasant day at work.
And don't get me wrong, the adult industry does not stand alone in our opposition to this prop. We have San Francisco AIDS Foundation. We have AIDS Project Los Angeles. We have
I'm sure a lot of
God. We have I can't even think of all the names of everybody we have of the organizations.
Every progressive organization is, I'm sure, behind this.
You could easily research all this stuff on Google.
Sure.
Go to don'tharasscalifornia.com.
Okay.
And they'll have a little YouTube thing where one of our cherished souls in the industry, Lilith Lux of kink.com, made this awesome little video that explains everything.
Great. Okay. There will be a link to that in the information in this on the SoundCloud and the YouTube versions of this show. So we'll make sure to get that out there. Make sure that you push the show, not for the show's sake,
totally,
but so that this information gets out there.
I'll tell all the organizations about it. It's very important to me, as it is to a lot of performers. We've been fighting. We've been fighting a long time over this thing. It's a tireless fight, really.
Damn. And
and we're not being paid for it either. Yeah. A lot of the AIDS Healthcare Foundation representatives and stuff like that they have are being slid money, to tell their stories or whatever. And we're not fucking being paid for this shit. Like we're doing it out of passion. We don't want to be harassed. Like California is one of the most progressive states in the union. You don't want to be the first state to sanctionize worker harassment.
Right.
Regardless of the industry. I mean,
regardless of the industry, regardless of how you feel about porn, you need to know that this would negatively impact it to
Because it sets a precedent.
Yeah.
And then they can do it to other people and other industry.
It's just very important that if you live in California and you love porn, please vote no on Prop 60 when it comes up in
November.
Right.
Again, we'll have links to the video.
I'll get you links for all those.
And yeah, we'll put all the necessary, the most easiest way to access all the information about Prop 60 and why you should vote no against it.
Yeah.
Because I can't see any reasons why you should. I can't think of a single reason why you would want to vote yes on such a ridiculous proposition.
We have bipartisan support on not on opposing this bill in California. The Democrats
Old
and the Republicans.
white rich motherfuckers love porn. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. They do.
And the liberal party too.
Yeah, the only problem with that is they love being right more.
We're not gonna take it.
Come on.
No, we ain't gonna take it.
You're
I don't
all
have the
worthless
hair for
and
this.
weak.
We're not gonna take it anymore.
Is that a twisted sister pin on your uniform?
All right. All right. We ended on a tune. That's enough show. We'll see you guys next week with more us. I'm sorry.